Have you ever felt like you're alive, yet your mind is trapped in past wounds or anxiously anticipating a future that hasn't come? In the rush of modern life, it's easy to lose touch with ourselves, to be swept away by negative emotions without even realizing it. But here's the miracle: your mind, you, have the power to heal. You don't need to search outside. The path to healing always begins within, where stillness, compassion, and awareness are quietly waiting to awaken. This video is a gentle invitation. Come home to yourself, listen deeply to your heart, and discover a quiet path to peace beyond fear. The mind can heal your life. A journey back to stillness, compassion, and mindfulness. We often think that healing begins with a great effort, changing ourselves, overcoming the past, or finding someone who understands and loves us. But perhaps the true miracle begins from a much simpler place: gentle awareness in the present moment. When you pause in silence and place your hand on your heart, you will realize that the mind, the very place where pain is created, is also the gateway to the deepest healing. Person in lotus position. Why do we suffer? We suffer not only because of what has happened, but because of how we carry those memories in our minds. A word, a look, a loss. When not understood and embraced, silently repeat in the unconscious like old scars. Emotions become habits. Thoughts become chains. Then we live without truly being present. We react out of instinct, out of hurt, out of fear. And slowly, we lose the ability to listen to ourselves. Blossom healing begins when we stop. Mindfulness is a gentle invitation to return to this moment, the only place where life is truly unfolding. When you slow your breath, when you let go of judgment, when you look into your pain without trying to escape, you are taking the first steps on the healing path. You don't need to fix yourself. You only need to return and be present with yourself, with love and understanding. Your breath becomes a friend. Your body becomes a mirror reflecting the truth. And the mind, when illuminated by mindfulness, gradually becomes as still as a pond after the wind has passed. A mind in awareness, the foundation of transformation. A mindful mind is no longer dragged by the past nor chasing after a future yet to come. It does not try to control, force, or resist. It looks, sees, and lets go. And it is then that healing takes place, not loudly, not dramatically, but gently like dew melting on a leaf. You begin to feel your body again. You realize that the tension, the areas of pain, are where things have not yet been understood. You smile, not because everything is fine, but because you are here, for yourself. Crescent moon healing is not the destination but the steps back. Each day, each moment, you have the opportunity to choose. To keep running after the illusions of the mind. Or to gently return, touching life right in your breath. Don't rush. Don't force yourself to feel better, or be at peace right away. As long as you are truly present, even in pain, in tears, in silence, you are still on the healing journey. Because in the end, there is nowhere to go. There is only one place you need to return to, the awakened heart within you. Emotional addiction. The invisible chains. The addiction to emotions, the invisible chains. In a world full of stress and modern exhaustion, emotions become the waves that carry us away, often beyond our control. Sometimes, we become addicted to negative emotions, anxiety, anger, sadness, or suffering from the past. These emotions become an inseparable part of us, like invisible chains holding our minds, preventing freedom and inner peace. Let's explore this emotional addiction, how it shows up in our lives, and why understanding it is the first step in the journey of self-healing. Cyclone emotions become habits. Emotions, like big waves, always come and go. But if we don't truly pay attention and simply accept them passively, emotions stop being just reactions and become habits of the mind. They start repeating, like an old movie you can't turn off. We slowly get used to negative emotions like fear, anger, or guilt, because they create a familiar feeling, a place we can hide in. Thought balloon: the mind reprograms emotional responses. Negative emotions aren't just immediate reactions. They gradually form a chain reaction in our minds. Pay attention. Every time you worry, it feels like you're being carried away by those thoughts. Every time you get angry, it feels like that anger can take over you, making you lose control. And all these emotions don't just show up in your mind, they're stored in your body, creating tension and fatigue. When you fail to recognize the source of these emotions, they will repeat themselves. And then, you become a slave to your emotions, letting them control your life. Seedling mindfulness, the key to liberation. When we practice mindfulness, we're not trying to push away emotions or escape them. Mindfulness is a way to acknowledge and accept every emotion clearly, without judgment. This is the first step toward breaking free from emotional addiction. Acceptance of emotions. Instead of trying to avoid negative emotions, take time to look at the emotion. Anger isn't your enemy, it's just a signal from your body and mind. When you stop and pay attention to the emotion, you can understand its origin and gently release it. Observe without attachment. Mindfulness helps you return to the present and notice emotions without being caught by them. Imagine yourself as an observer, someone outside of the situation, simply watching the emotions come and go like clouds in the sky. Take time for yourself. Sometimes, emotions are simply the result of tension in the body. To heal, you need to take time to relax, breathe deeply, and bring your body into a state of calm. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to understand your emotions better and stop letting them repeat over and over. Cherry blossom: freedom from emotions. So, emotional addiction is the trap the mind creates for itself, making you live in an endless loop of reactions without a stop. However, by practicing mindfulness, you will gradually realize that you are not a slave to your emotions. You can choose how to respond. You can recognize emotions without letting them control you. You can choose stillness and peace instead of being swept away by the emotional storms. In full presence and mindfulness, you will discover that you don't need to chase after old emotions to define yourself. You can be free, freedom not from emotions, but from how you receive and live with them. Meditation helps reprogram the mind. The power of meditation and mindfulness to reprogram your mind. In our busy, modern lives, our minds are often filled with constant chatter, worries, plans, judgments, and endless thoughts that can create stress, anxiety, and confusion. Over time, this mental noise can affect our emotions, our relationships, and even our physical health. The mind becomes stuck in unhealthy patterns, thinking the same repetitive thoughts that keep us from finding peace. However, the practice of meditation, especially mindfulness meditation, offers a powerful way to break free from these old, ingrained patterns and reprogram the mind. It allows us to create a new relationship with our thoughts and helps us shift our mindset from one of stress and overwhelm to one of calm, clarity, and awareness. Brain reprogramming the mind. How meditation works. Meditation is more than just sitting in silence. It's a practice that actively engages the mind to let go of its habitual patterns. Here's how meditation helps us transform and reprogram our thinking. Awareness of thought patterns. In mindfulness meditation, we observe our thoughts without judgment. Instead of identifying with our thoughts or reacting to them, we become aware of them as they arise. This awareness is the first step in reprogramming the mind. When we simply notice a thought, whether positive or negative, it loses its power over us. We start to see that thoughts are just passing mental events and not permanent truths. By practicing mindfulness, we create space between ourselves and our thoughts, allowing us to respond rather than react. Interrupting old mental patterns. Our minds are often on autopilot, replaying the same negative patterns or thoughts. For example, we might automatically think, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't handle this." These thoughts are based on past experiences and beliefs that we've carried with us for years. Meditation helps us interrupt these thought patterns. When we sit quietly in meditation, we notice these habitual thoughts arising, but we don't react to them. We refocus our attention on our breath, on the sensations of our body, or on the present moment. Over time, this practice helps to rewire the brain, making it easier to break free from these old mental habits. Cultivating present moment awareness. One of the core aspects of mindfulness meditation is present moment awareness. Instead of dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, we focus our attention on what's happening right here and now. This practice helps us shift from a fear-based mindset, concerned with what might happen, to a peace-based mindset, focused on the present moment. By training the mind to stay present, we release unnecessary stress and anxiety and allow the mind to rest in a state of peaceful awareness. Releasing negative emotions and beliefs. Negative emotions like fear, guilt, or shame often arise from unresolved past experiences or limiting beliefs. These emotions can shape our thoughts and behaviors in ways that prevent us from reaching our full potential. Mindfulness meditation helps us acknowledge and release these emotions. By sitting with difficult feelings in a non-judgmental way, we allow them to move through us, rather than getting stuck. The more we meditate, the more we become aware of the negative patterns that arise in our minds, and we learn how to release them, making space for more positive, empowering thoughts. Seedling the benefits of meditation for reprogramming the mind. Through regular meditation practice, we begin to see significant changes in the way our mind functions. These changes happen slowly and subtly, but with consistency, we begin to experience the following benefits. Increased mental clarity. When the mind is calm and clear, it becomes easier to make decisions, solve problems, and focus on what really matters. Meditation helps to clear away the mental clutter, allowing us to see things more clearly and respond thoughtfully to life's challenges. Reduce stress and anxiety. As we reprogram the mind through mindfulness, we become less reactive to stress. Meditation helps us manage anxiety by calming the nervous system and teaching us how to stay grounded in the present moment, rather than getting caught in the spiral of worry. Improved emotional regulation. Meditation helps us develop a greater awareness of our emotions, which in turn allows us to regulate them better. We become less likely to be overwhelmed by our emotions, and instead, we can respond to them with calmness and clarity. Greater peace and inner calm. Over time, meditation helps cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. As we release old thought patterns and emotional baggage, we create a sense of freedom and calm in the mind. This peace becomes a natural state of being that we carry with us into our daily lives. Cherry blossom meditation as a tool for transformation. Reprogramming the mind through mindfulness meditation is not about escaping from our thoughts or emotions. Instead, it is about transforming our relationship with them. Meditation provides a safe space to become more aware of what's happening in our minds and learn how to respond instead of react. Through mindfulness, we can begin to let go of old, limiting beliefs and replace them with new, empowering thoughts. We can transform our minds from places of stress and anxiety to spaces of peace and clarity. With consistent practice, meditation becomes a powerful tool for creating lasting change in our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. The quiet path, returning to yourself. The quiet path, returning to your true self through mindfulness and meditation. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and constant movement, it's easy to forget who we truly are. We often become so caught up in the external world, our responsibilities, our relationships, our successes, and our failures, that we lose touch with the most important thing, our true self. The quiet path, in the context of mindfulness meditation, invites us to return to ourselves, to reconnect with the deepest part of our being, where peace, wisdom, and stillness reside. This return to the self is not about escaping from the world, but about learning to live more fully and authentically. It's about embracing the present moment and finding the clarity and stillness needed to understand our inner nature. Man in lotus position. What does the quiet path mean? The quiet path refers to the inner journey of self-discovery and peace through mindfulness meditation. It's a path that encourages us to slow down, to stop chasing external things, and to cultivate a state of stillness that allows us to connect with our true essence. Slowing down the mind. In mindfulness meditation, the first step toward returning to yourself is to slow down the mind. Our thoughts are constantly racing, pulling us in 100 different directions. To reconnect with our true self, we need to create space between our thoughts and simply be. This is where mindfulness and meditation become powerful tools. They help us pause, become aware of the present moment, and gently bring our minds into stillness. Releasing attachments. Much of our suffering comes from attachment to outcomes, to people, to material things, or to our ideas of who we should be. These attachments create expectations and disappointments, which cloud our connection to our authentic self. Through mindfulness meditation, we learn to let go of these attachments. We start to recognize that our true self is not tied to any external conditions or possessions. When we let go of the need to control and possess, we make space for peace and freedom to emerge. Thought balloon. Returning to yourself through mindfulness. Mindfulness meditation is the practice of being present and fully aware of each moment without judgment. It's about returning to the present, where our true self resides, and allowing ourselves to experience each moment with clarity and openness. Here's how mindfulness meditation can help you return to yourself. Embrace the present moment. Often, we are so focused on the past or the future that we miss the present moment. We carry the weight of past regrets or future worries, and this prevents us from being truly present. Through mindfulness, we learn to bring our full attention to the here and now. This practice helps us step away from the mental chatter and reconnect with the simplicity and beauty of the present moment. As we embrace the present, we also embrace who we are, unburdened by the past or future. Cultivating stillness and peace. Returning to yourself involves creating inner stillness. Mindfulness meditation allows us to sit in stillness, where we can simply observe our thoughts without becoming attached to them. In this stillness, we begin to experience inner peace. This peace comes not from external circumstances but from the ability to connect with the quiet presence that lies at the core of our being. This is where we begin to reconnect with our true self, a self that is not defined by what we do or what we have, but by our deep awareness and presence. Self-acceptance and compassion. As we practice mindfulness, we develop self-acceptance. We begin to see ourselves not as we think we should be, but as we truly are, with all our strengths and weaknesses. This acceptance is accompanied by self-compassion, treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a dear friend. Through self-compassion, we return to ourselves with love and understanding rather than judgment. Recognizing the true nature of the mind. Through mindfulness meditation, we learn that the mind is not fixed, not rigid, and not our true identity. Instead, the mind is like an ocean, with thoughts and emotions coming and going like waves. Our true self is like the deep still water beneath the waves, calm, clear, and unchanging. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to recognize the stillness and clarity that exists beneath the surface of our thoughts. Cherry blossom living from your true self. Returning to yourself through mindfulness meditation is not just an inward journey, but it also transforms how you live in the world. When we reconnect with our true self, we begin to make choices that are aligned with our authentic nature. These choices bring us peace, clarity, and purpose. Living authentically. When you return to yourself, you begin to live from a place of authenticity. You are no longer trying to please others or fit into societal expectations. Instead, you align your actions and decisions with your true values and inner wisdom. This authenticity brings greater fulfillment, because you are no longer living in a way that is dictated by external influences. Building stronger connections. When we are rooted in our true self, we form deeper, more meaningful connections with others. We are no longer seeking validation or approval but can interact with others from a place of genuine presence and compassion. These authentic connections lead to more fulfilling relationships and a sense of belonging. The path of quietness is the path to freedom. The quiet path, through mindfulness meditation, is the path of freedom. It is freedom from the constant noise and distractions of the world, freedom from the grip of past experiences and future worries, and freedom from the attachments and expectations that weigh us down. By embracing the quiet path, we begin to reconnect with our true self, where peace, clarity, and authenticity reside. It is a return to simplicity, a return to who we truly are beneath the surface of our busy, conditioned minds. Embrace the quiet path to inner peace. As we close this journey into the healing power of mindfulness and meditation, remember that the true path to peace is always available to you. It's not somewhere far away, but right here, in the quiet moments of your everyday life. By slowing down, turning inward, and embracing the present, you can reprogram your mind, release old patterns, and reconnect with the deepest parts of your being. In each mindful breath, in every moment of stillness, you have the power to heal, transform, and return to the truest version of yourself. The journey of self-discovery is not about perfection, but about gentle awareness, compassion, and patience with yourself. So take a moment today to pause, breathe, and listen to the quiet whisper of your soul. Your mind, body, and spirit are always guiding you back to peace. Trust in the process, and remember, the quiet path is always open for you to walk. Thank you for joining me on this path of mindfulness. May you continue to find peace, clarity, and joy in every moment.